The story starts in a peaceful rural village called Bunnyburrow, where a young rabbit named Judy acts in a school play. Her performance depicts how animals once existed as predators and prey in a primitive era, but ultimately built a modern society where they live in peace. Inspired by this ideal, Judy boldly announces her dream of becoming a police officer in the great city of Zootopia, a place where anyone can be anything. Her statement is brave and astounds the audience. A young fox named Gideon mocks her from the crowd, asserting that a tiny rabbit is not suited for police work. Her well-meaning parents, Bonnie and Stuart, similarly urge her to opt for a safer career as a carrot farmer. Yet, Judy declines to let fear dictate her future. Later on, when Gideon bullies younger kids and steals their admission tickets, Judy bravely steps in to help. Although her courage is evident, the confrontation gets rough. Gideon shoves her to the ground and scratches her cheek, leaving behind a lasting mark. Nevertheless, Judy remains steadfast. She recovers the taken tickets and consoles her friends. In doing so, she proves an essential point: her small size is no match for her resolve. Years afterward, Judy matures into a driven young adult and enrolls in the police training academy. The physical training is incredibly rigorous, especially for a mammal of her stature. Larger recruits easily overpower her, causing her to struggle repeatedly during the drills. Instead of giving up, she adapts her tactics, using her speed, wit, and intellect to succeed. While her peers rely on brute strength, Judy employs smart strategies, which helps her not only graduate but top her class. She graduates at the top of her class, becoming the historic first rabbit officer in the Zootopia Police Department. At the graduation, Mayor Lionheart praises her success, and Assistant Mayor Bellwether calls her milestone an inspiration for small animals. For Judy, it feels as though her aspirations are finally becoming a reality. She leaves Bunnyburrow full of excitement and determination. Her father, still worried about potential hazards from other species, gives her a defensive spray before she boards the train. Her journey to the metropolis is filled with wonder. The train passes through unique climate zones such as Sahara Square, Tundra Town, and the Rainforest District, all integrated within the massive city limits. The city environment appears lively, diverse, and filled with opportunity. It meets her high hopes, though everyday reality quickly brings setbacks. Her apartment is tiny, run down, and noisy, falling far short of her expectations. Nonetheless, Judy keeps an optimistic outlook. Her first day on duty turns out to be disappointing. Chief Bogo assigns her to parking duty instead of criminal cases, doubting her abilities simply because of her species. Although disheartened, Judy decides to prove herself by performing her duties exceptionally well. She works tirelessly, issuing over 200 parking tickets before midday to show her dedication. After her shift, Judy walks past an ice cream shop. She notices the owner refusing to serve a little mammal and a fox. Judy marches inside and, using her authority, points out that the owner isn't wearing the required gloves while serving food. This forces the owner to serve the fox and the little customers. When the fox leaves, Judy notices something clever. The fox is melting the large ice cream bar and repackaging the melt into smaller pour cycles, essentially converting it into a candy bar. He's then selling these small bars and making a much bigger profit. Judy confronts Nick about his scheme. Instead of denying the hustle, Nick smugly explains that his business practices conform to local laws. He also questions Judy's idealistic view of the metropolis, stating that Zootopia is not a place where dreams magically come true. The next day, Judy bypasses police protocols to chase a thief, Duke Weaselton, who stole rare flower bulbs. In the middle of the chase, Judy saves a tiny shrew named Fru from a rolling giant donut display. Chief Bogo is furious with Judy for ignoring his direct orders. At that moment, a distraught otter named Mrs. Otterton arrives, pleading for help to find her missing husband, Emmett, who is one of many animals to have recently disappeared. Judy eagerly volunteers to look into the case. Bogo reluctantly agrees but gives her a 48-hour deadline to solve it, under penalty of resigning from the police force. Judy finds out that Nick was the last person who saw the missing otter. By recording his confession of tax evasion on her pen, she coaxes him into helping her with the investigation. Nick grudgingly agrees, and the unlikely duo starts their shared investigation. Their search leads them to a facility where animals choose to live in their natural state, wearing no clothes. Despite being unnerved by the venue, Judy manages to secure a vital clue, a license plate number. They head to the Department of Motor Vehicles, where extremely slow-moving sloths delay their progress. The search takes hours, but they finally track down the registered limousine. They find the exact car that carried Emmett away. When they inspect the inside, they discover claw marks on the backseat and the missing otter's wallet. Nick spots a crest on a glass cup and realizes the vehicle belongs to Mr. Big, a powerful crime boss in Tundratown with whom Nick has a history. Mr. Big's security team captures them and takes them straight to their boss. Mr. Big scolds Nick for betraying his trust, specifically because Nick had previously sold him a low-quality rug made from skunk fur. Mr. Big orders his henchmen to lower Nick and Judy into an icy pool underneath a trapdoor in the floor. Just then, Mr. Big's daughter, Fru, walks in wearing her wedding dress and recognizes Judy as the officer who rescued her the previous day. Mr. Big reveals that the missing otter was his florist, but he suddenly became aggressive, turning wild and attacking his chauffeur, Monches. He provides them with the driver's home address. They find the chauffeur, a jaguar named Monches. Monches explains that the otter was yelling about night howlers prior to the attack. Moments later, Monches also succumbs to aggression, turning wild and chasing after them. Judy and Nick barely escape and call the police department for help. While Judy manages to tie Monches up temporarily, he disappears before other officers arrive. The case becomes highly confusing, leading Chief Bogo to demand that Judy resign. But Nick speaks up for her, noting that Judy still has 10 hours left to solve her case. As they leave, Nick reveals details about his past. As a child, he hoped to join a local youth ranger club, but his peers bullied and muzzled him simply because he was a fox. This painful event crushed his desire to belong, leading him to adopt the role of the sly, untrustworthy con artist everyone expected him to be. This discussion helps Judy grasp the deep-rooted prejudices that exist in the city. Judy then realizes that Assistant Mayor Bellwether might have resources to help them. Bellwether gives them access to the city's traffic camera system. Looking at the footage, they see that Monches was captured by wolves, which leads Judy to suspect these wolves are the night howlers they heard about. They track the wolves driving him in a van to a secret destination. Judy and Nick find the hidden building, where they uncover a shocking secret: the missing predators are being kept locked up on the orders of Mayor Lionheart. Judy secretly records video proof of the facility and sends it to Chief Bogo. Lionheart and his accomplices are arrested, and Bellwether is appointed as the new mayor. Lionheart argues he was trying to prevent mass panic while scientists worked on a cure. Regardless of his intentions, his concealment of the truth causes widespread outrage. Judy is celebrated as a hero for solving the case, and she asks Nick to become her partner on the police force. However, she makes a major mistake during her press conference. She suggests that predators might have a deep-seated biological urge to return to their primitive behavior. Her remarks cause massive fear and prejudice to spread across the city. Carnivores are suddenly viewed with suspicion, leading to a breakdown in community relations. Deeply hurt and offended by her comments, Nick refuses her offer and walks away. A deep rift develops between different species, making the majority population fearful of their fellow citizens. The pop star Gazelle hosts a peaceful rally to protest the growing division. In the meantime, more cases arise as other animals act aggressively. Bellwether points out that prey animals make up the vast majority of the population and urges Judy to remain the public face of the department to boost morale. Feeling guilty for the city's discord, Judy resigns from her post and returns to Bunnyborough, believing she has done more damage than good. Back at the farm, she runs into a grown, apologetic Gideon Gray, who has become a successful baker. Her parents explain that they teamed up with Gideon because Judy's courage inspired them to move past their own prejudices. Gideon sincerely apologizes to Judy for his behavior when they were young. This conversation reminds her that positive change can happen. She then learns from her parents that night howlers are actually poisonous flowers that cause animals to turn aggressive if ingested. Realizing that the outbreaks are being intentionally caused, She gains a renewed sense of purpose and rushes back to the city. She finds Nick, delivers a sincere apology, and tells him about her discovery. He forgives her, and the two reunite to crack the case. They locate Duke, who confesses that the stolen flower bulbs were destined for a sheep named Doug. Following this clue, they find a hidden lab inside a discarded train car, where Doug works as a chemist and sniper, extracting the plant's toxins into a concentrated liquid. He loads this formula into a dart gun to target specific targets. Judy and Nick seize the dart gun and the serum sample, then try to drive the train car to deliver the proof. Doug's henchmen chase after them to prevent their escape. Even though the train crashes and is destroyed, Nick manages to save the evidence and the serum. They navigate through a museum of history, but just as they reach the exit to head toward police headquarters, Mayor Bellwether blocks their path. She is flanked by two sheep in police uniforms, who are the exact individuals who had just pursued them. This meeting exposes the truth. Bellwether is the actual mastermind behind the entire scheme. Bellwether seizes the evidence case. She engineered the attacks to instigate fear and divide the city, allowing the prey majority to take full control of the government. Judy and Nick are shoved into an exhibit pit, which hurts Judy's leg. Bellwether fires a dart at Nick, expecting him to turn wild and attack Judy. She calls the police department, reporting that an officer is being attacked by a wild predator. However, Nick only pretends to lose control, because they had previously swapped the toxic darts in the launcher with harmless blueberries, and Judy records Bellwether's full confession of guilt on her pen. Chief Bogo and the other officers arrive to place Bellwether under arrest. Once the plot is uncovered, scientists formulate an antidote to return the affected animals to their normal states. The city starts to recover from the discord and suspicion that had troubled its population. Judy is welcomed back to the force, while Nick reaches his own dream of becoming the department's first Fox officer. Partnered together, they set off to handle their next case as a team. In a funny final scene, they pull over a speeding vehicle, only to discover that the driver is Flash, the exceptionally slow sloth they encountered earlier.
Please like and subscribe.